NFL Week 5 kicking off, and we begin with the Kansas City Chiefs and Los Angeles Chargers rematch. Thursday Night Football, Tyreek Hill with a long touchdown from Patrick Mahomes, 77 yards to get the Chiefs on top early. And watch the replay, Mahomes getting mauled by Bosa, gets the throw off, and nobody was catching Tyreek there. But trouble at the end of the second quarter. Here Tyreek Hill on a return fumbles the ball. It's a scoop and score for the Chargers, and they take the lead into the break. The Chiefs had 3 turnovers in the last 4 minutes of the second quarter. Another turnover here. It's a blocked field goal. The Chargers had a fumble recovery on defense, on special teams, a pick, and they're a blocked field goal for a touchdown. Second defensive touchdown for LA. 4 minutes left here. Mahomes scrambles and flips one to Kelsey, a little flick of the wrist, and finds Kelsey for the go-ahead and ultimate game-winning touchdown. So the Chiefs, despite some turnovers in the second quarter, have a huge second half, and Patrick Mahomes' best game of the season to win at 38-35. 403 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick from Mahomes, while Justin Herbert was held largely silent despite having a really good rookie season. Austin Eckler impressed on the ground, 113 yards, while Mahomes had a pair of rushing touchdowns. Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill both with season highs in yards. Kelce with 10 for 142, Hill with 4 for 132 and a touchdown. Chiefs complete the season sweep of the Chargers, get to 3-2, while LA falls to 2. Now into the Sunday slate, we start with the Bears taking down the Lions to finally get in the win column after so many tough losses, 24-10. They really dominated the Lions from start to finish. Matthew Stafford, 18 for 37, 248 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. Trubisky threw for 209. Not much in terms of rushing for any of these teams. Mitchell Trubisky did have a rushing touchdown, though, for Chicago. And looking at the receiving, Galladay, nice day, 97 yards and a touchdown. How about Allen Robinson, 9 catches, 81 yards and a touchdown. So the Bears pick up their first win. The Lions have now dropped back-to-back after a nice 2-1 start to fall to 2-3. The Bills came from behind late to take down the Giants 27-23 as Daniel Jones returned after an absence of a game and a half with that hamstring injury. Josh Allen had a really good day, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick, while Daniel Jones was held to 210. Devin Singletary led the way with 37 rushing yards for Buffalo of their running backs, but Josh Allen had 58 and a touchdown, while Wayne Gallman had a burst, a 75-yard carry for a touchdown, finished with 5 for 83 and a touchdown. And on the receiving end, Stephon Diggs was out for this game due to COVID-19 protocols, but John Brown had a good day, 81 yards and 2 touchdowns. Diggs was questionable due to injury and, of course, had the COVID-19 protocols. Here, a wild play. Washington down 14 to the Jets in the fourth quarter. The Jets trying to keep pace. Buffalo, of course, moving to 4-1 with that win over the Giants, but a crazy play. Harmon comes up with a fumble, and you watch this. It's a nice catch for Sprinkle. He loses the ball on the ground. It rolls around. Harmon picks it up and runs it in, but they would review the fumble. And upon review, it would be overturned. So the Washington would instead have the ball down at the 6-yard line. On 4th and 2 here, Dwayne Haskins, of course, starting for the injured Alex Smith, rolls out, throws, and it's broken up. So a big-time call, a lot of controversy there. A lot of people were upset in Washington. But the touchdown comes off the board, and they end up having an empty possession. And though Washington would score a couple more times late, it wouldn't be enough. The Jets are 4-1 halfway through the season, have beaten all 3 of their divisional opponents. Their only loss coming to the Philadelphia Eagles, and are tied with the Buffalo Bills at 4-1 on top of the AFC East. Sam Darnold and Dwayne Haskins, neither was that flashy today, but Darnold did get the job done. What makes matters worse for Washington, they will still be without Alex Smith for the next couple of weeks, and Haskins hasn't played particularly well. The Jets were without Le'Veon Bell, who got hurt in the second quarter and left the game with a sprained ankle, and is questionable for week 6. But Frank Gore, the veteran, 23 carries, 95 yards and a touchdown. And on the receiving end, leading receiver Thaddeus Moss, the rookie from LSU, who has become possibly an offensive rookie of the year candidate with how he's performed in Washington, 6 catches, 65 yards and a touchdown. The Eagles held off Miami right off the gate and won it 17-12 to improve to 3-2 in the season. Another loss for the Dolphins after that nice win to kick off the year. They have dropped 4 consecutive games to fall to 1-4 on the season with Tua Tagovailoa. Didn't get a full picture of the stats, but as you'll see on the next slide, we did get a look at some of the statistics for both the Eagles and the Dolphins in this game. The Buccaneers picked up their 3rd straight win after that 0-2 start, routing the Jaguars in Jacksonville 26-9. Tom Brady had 220 yards, threw 3 picks, but got the job done. As for Jacksonville, remember Jake Luton had that great start against Houston, but got pulled here at halftime and was replaced with Dan Jeffries, who actually had a pretty nice outing. So it's expected that Jeffries will be the starting quarterback for Jacksonville in their Week 6 contest with the Colts. Ronald Jones Jr. in a nice game for Tampa Bay, 14 carries, 67 yards. Rob Gronkowski, 9 catches, 70 yards, led the way. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin both held largely quiet in this one, but the Buccaneers are now 3-2 and have a rematch with the New Orleans Saints on Sunday Night Football in Week 6, this time in Tampa. Jacksonville, the only winless team in the NFL halfway through the season. All kinds of issues for Aaron Rodgers in a game against Minnesota. The Vikings have been slumping as of late, but no problems here. A 95-yard interception return for a touchdown to extend their 4th quarter lead. The Vikings win it 19-10, the final score, and improve to 3-2 on the season, while the Packers fall to a 3-2 mark. So we have a tie in the NFC North for the division lead. All kinds of trouble for Aaron Rodgers in this game. 20 for 34, 242 yards. Not a great day for Kirk Cousins, but he was accurate and avoided throwing a pick for the first time this season. But the real story of this game was Dalvin Cook. 33 carries, 147 yards for the 3rd-year running back out of Florida State. Devontae Adams was held without a reception until the 4th quarter, finished with 3 for 49. Nobody really lit up the stat sheet for either team in terms of the receiving end. Thielen was held to just 36 yards. For Minnesota, he was only the 4th leading receiver. Justin Jefferson had 4 catches for 60. Falcons and Titans in overtime. Atlanta put up a fight, but again will lose in overtime. As Corey Davis with the game-winning overtime touchdown as Tennessee wins at 22-16. So the Titans improved to 4-1 while Atlanta suffers their 4th consecutive loss. 272 yards from Matt Ryan, 258 for Tannehill. Derrick Henry had his 2nd 100-yard rushing game of the season. Todd Gurley was injured in the 4th quarter, and the Titans welcomed back Darrington Evans from injury, so he had 48 yards. And Corey Davis, 8 catches, 84 yards, and a big touchdown. A.J. Brown also had a nice receiving touchdown as the Titans now 4-1 in the season. Another one-possession loss in divisional play for the Browns, their 3rd such loss this season, as the Ravens, just like Tampa, started 0-2 and now have recovered with 3 consecutive wins. And now Baltimore's in pretty good shape with wins against Cincinnati, Chicago, and now Cleveland. 23-20 the final score. Ravens now 3-2 as Lamar Jackson threw for 300 yards for the first time this season, while Baker Mayfield threw a career-high 4 interceptions. Lamar Jackson was also a threat on the ground with 75 rushing yards. Nick Chubb led all running backs with 96 yards for Cleveland. Mark Andrews, 82 receiving yards, led the way for Baltimore. Jarvis Landry had 2 receiving touchdowns for Cleveland. Heading to the 4 o'clock slate, the Raiders again playing some trickery, but this time it works. All the way down to the 5-yard line on a fake field goal. John Gruden bowled and it works. A rare rainy day in Las Vegas. Brandon McManus here finds his left tackle, Dotson, for a catch down to the 12-yard line. The Broncos say 2 could play at this game. This was a good one. Came down to the wire, 15 seconds left to pass. Henry Ruggs, the rookie, into the end zone for the touchdown on the throw from Garrett Carr to seal the deal for the Raiders. So the Raiders improved to 2-3. Broncos fall to 1-4. Raiders and Broncos now split the season series. Denver won back in week 2 in Mile High. Drew Lock was finally healthy, got to play, but threw 4 interceptions. Derek Carr, 230 yards and a touchdown. Josh Jacobs has been hurt a lot this season, but his second 160-plus yard game this season, 162 and 2 touchdowns. Despite missing a game this season, Jacobs is still in the top 5 in rushing yards in the NFL. And Henry Ruggs, 104 yards and a touchdown, helped lead the way for the Raiders. The Seahawks continued their winning ways and improved to 5-0 as MVP Russell Wilson was able to will them to victory over the Cardinals 24-17. Wilson actually had his worst game of the season, 290 yards, threw 2 picks, but also threw 3 touchdowns. Kyler Murray, decent game, but just not good enough. Just been a disappointing year for the Cardinals, who are currently 1-4. They were also held with that by Benjamin was injured in the first quarter. Kenyon Drake fortunately was healthy, but fumbled twice. Tyler Lockett, another huge game, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns, the NFL's leader in receiving yards through 5 games this season. The Rams picked up a victory over the San Francisco 49ers. So the Rams, after that disastrous loss in week 3 to Seattle when they blew double-digit fourth quarter lead, beat Kansas City, and then now go on the road and beat San Francisco to improve to 3-2 on the season, while the Niners now fall to 3-2 with their first loss since week 2 against Seattle. Jimmy Garoppolo with a terrible game, 15 of 31, 128 yards, while Jared Goff threw for 302 and 2 touchdowns. Darrell Henderson Jr. a nice game on the ground, 14 carries, 61 yards. And for the Rams, Tyler Higbee, tight end, having a great year, 7 catches, 75 yards. Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods each had a receiving touchdown as well. America's Game of the Week, Patriots-Cowboys in Dallas. CeeDee Lamb, the rookie, an incredible catch on the left side of the end zone, gets both feet in to give the Cowboys a second quarter lead. But the Patriots were cruising in this game. Dak Prescott here in the fourth quarter trying to make something happen, but he's picked off by Stephon Gilmore. A key play where the Cowboys could have made it a one-possession game and New England cruised out for them. So the Cowboys get knocked off in Jerry World 36-17. They are now 0-2 against the AFC East. They lost in Buffalo in week 2 and then lose here against New England, and they still have to play the Jets this season. We're doing so well as the Patriots recover after losing back-to-back and from a 1-3 start for their second win of the season. Cam Newton was in vintage Cam form, 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, and biggest thing, no interceptions, which have really hurt him this season. Dak Prescott did not have a great game. Ezekiel Elliott, 76 yards, Sony Michel with 55. And Julian Edelman turned back the clock. 5 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Patriots had 3 receivers with 65-plus yards. Sunday Night Football at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Saints looking to remain perfect, facing the 3-1 Indianapolis Colts. Taysom Hill here in on a trick play, spins around, gets clobbered in the end zone, but gets in for the touchdown. Here another touchdown as Traquan Smith is found for a touchdown reception. It's a great throw right there to find Smith in double coverage. The Saints were blowing away Indianapolis in this one. Not even a contest. 28-10, Saints roll to get to 5-0 on the season. Drew Brees is back healthy and played really well. 335 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks, but did more than enough. Taysom Hill also threw for 33 yards and a touchdown on his little trick plays. Phillip Rivers, not a good game, 20 for 40. Very inaccurate, just a 50% completion percentage, second lowest in the NFL this week among starting quarterbacks. Only above Jimmy Garoppolo as the Colts fell to 3-2 and back to second place in the AFC South. Alvin Kamara, 32 carries for 106 yards after sitting week 4. The Saints were without Ty Montgomery on offense and without Kiko Alonso on defense. Jack Doyle had a great day, 123 yards and a touchdown. But Michael Thomas, 6 catches, 90 yards and a touchdown. Traquan Smith also had that touchdown we showed you. So Seattle and New Orleans both stayed undefeated. Could Pittsburgh do the same? This helps the cause. Jalen Samuels with a great catch from Ben Roethlisberger on the back of the end zone. Monday Night Football rivalry here, Steelers and Bengals. The Steelers pulling away in the third quarter. Pittsburgh wins it 41-3. They got to pull the offensive starters in the fourth quarter, a blowout as the Steelers improved to 5-0. The Bengals fall to 1-4. Russell Wilson's playing well. Big Ben is having a career resurgence in his 16th season. 339 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Joe Burrow threw a couple of interceptions. 21 carries, 123 yards for James Conner. A huge day on the ground for him. Finally in receiving, 9 catches, 84 yards for Trey Edmonds, the tight end, led the way for Pittsburgh. So that'll about wrap things up. We are halfway through this NFL season. You can check in the description for the updated standings and playoff picture. So thank you for tuning in here on WUB Network. We will see you next time.